Hi, I'm Jenna from We Carry, and today I am going to show you how to do a back carry with a large ring sling. This is a Natibaby chevron. This is a large ring sling, but their large is slightly longer than an SBP extra large. And you may be able to get away with a medium or a large SBP depending on how big you are, how big your baby is, how tall you are, how short you are. All of those factors kind of make a difference. So give it a try, and if you need a little extra length, then try a little bit longer ring sling. What I like to do is have the rings end up at corsage position because I have a very hard time doing anything under baby's bum. My arms go numb after about 30 seconds and I can't do anything. So I kind of came up with a different way to do this so that my arms can have blood flow. So what I like to do is to measure how much, where to start the wrap. I do kind of a pretend ruck without the baby in it. Now I know that my rings need to hit me about the middle of my leg, or middle of my calf, below my knee, in order to end up where I want them. Another way is to kind of pretend that you're doing a ruck without the baby, kind of do that pass. And then I like the rings to end up about the top of my ear. So then I know that the point that's at my neck right now is the center of the wrap, and that's where I want to start my baby. So I'm going to spread that out, oops, and keep that point handy. And I'm going to grab my baby. Today I'm going to use a 6-month size doll because my daughter is asleep, and this little one always cooperates for the most part. And I'm going to take that center point I just found and put it at the center of the doll's neck. And then I like to wrap the wrap over baby's shoulders. Now I do this on my knee when my baby was younger, and now I just kind of stand her on the floor because she's 18 months old, so she's old enough to stand there and let me prepare. So depending on the age of your baby, or you can sit them on the floor. I kind of pin the rails with my thumb to make sure that the wrap stays on her neck, and then I put my hands underneath her armpits. And then I just kind of Superman toss her up onto my back, get her nice and high up, and then follow those rails down. And I hold the top rail nice and snug because that's going to hold baby in place. Then what I normally do is pin the wrap between my teeth, but you can use your chin, you can use your knees. Everybody finds it easy to do in a different way. So I would try all three and see which one works for you. I normally use my teeth, but I'm going to use my chin so I can talk. Then what I do is I pull the wrap down nice and tight on baby's back. I put one hand on her bum to keep her supported, and then just pull down nice and tight. This gives me a lot of fabric to make a seat with. Then what I do is reach up between us and put my hands under baby's body and grab the wrap from between her legs. Then I pull it up nice and high between us and kind of bounce to make sure I get it actually nice and flat up between our bodies. And then I gather up the tails. I gather them up all the way onto my shoulders because I don't like it when the tails or the wrap ends up all the way down to my elbows when I'm done. It's much more comfortable if it stays up on your shoulders. So as you can see, my baby already has a pretty good seat. I'm just going to do a little bit of strand by strand tightening. I just like to make sure baby's leg comes up a wee bit. You want to be very careful tightening the bottom rail because you can actually tighten it so much that you pop that seat, and that's not something you want to do. And then I'll do the other side. And I just kind of tighten each strand. And then I go back and make sure that they're all nice on my shoulders again. And then I'm going to put the longer tail without the rings between my knees. Oh, and this is something we're going to take care of later. There is a lot of extra slack on one side of your rings, so we're going to take care of that at the end, so don't worry. So then what I do is I keep going like I'm doing a regular ruck tied at the shoulder. I go over baby's legs and under the bottom, and then the rings ended up exactly where I want them. So I just lay them on top of that rail that's coming down between my knees, and I just, without pulling my tank top through, I'm just going to pull that wrap through. And then I'm going to bring this across to my other shoulder. I'm going to go over top that ruck strap, and I kind of just stick my hand through and grab that tail. And I'm just going to let it fall over top for a knotless finish. Now, we had that extra slack here. I am just going to feed that down. All right, there we go. Up. Cross baby's neck. And then I'm going to bring it down to the rings. And crossed my knotless finish. And now everything is nice and snugged up. Baby is secure, has a good seat. Knees higher than bottom. It's something you can do to maintain that seat is kind of push up on baby's feet and bounce, and that'll drop their bottom down into the seat real nice. And I actually have tail hanging to my knee. So you can actually do this with a much shorter, I have about this much fabric left over. So you can do this with a shorter ring sling for sure. You don't need quite this much length. But I'd say give it a try if you always wanted to do a back carry with a ring sling and you have a hard time under the bum because you can't see what you're doing. This is a little bit more advanced if you haven't done a back carry in the past. I would definitely recommend learning how to do a regular ruck with a woven wrap prior to trying this because it is just a little bit tricky, but it's not too bad. And just remember, always, always, always use a woven wrap for back carries. Never use a stretchy wrap for back carries. For more information and more tips and tricks, you can visit me at www.wecarry.com, and we hope we can help you out there. Thank you.